for Taylor. And Taylor, I can't wait for this one. This is going to be high-flying, hard-hitting, brother versus brother. Two of the best servers here in the AVP league. Phil Dalhouser in the middle of his farewell season here with the AVP. Who out there is rooting for Phil Dalhouser and Trevor Crab? Who's rooting for Phil Crab? Who's rooting for Taylor and Taylor, Taylor Sander and Taylor Crab? Wait a second. Okay, some of you cheered twice. I don't know about that. I heard that. I heard some of you cheered twice. I'll tell you what, when you introduce these players, this action gets started. Pick a side, everybody. Just like the referees do, okay? Pick a side and stick with your side. This is your side? Yeah, that makes sense.
Welcome to the first men's match of Week 3 from Miami. Appropriately enough, Week 3 happens in the 305. Look at beautiful South Beach and downtown as we welcome you to Wayfair Arena for the Palm Beach Passion as they're facing off with the New York Nitro. Passion coming in on the men's side at 1-1. New York Nitro in action for the very first time. Taylor Crab, Taylor Sander taking on Trevor Crab and Phil Dalhouser. It's a crab boil. Boys and girls, here we go. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympic gold medalist Rich Lamborn. Rich, first time ever we've had Phil Dalhouser in a crab boil. What's his role?
Well, you would think for his team, if you're a Taylor Crab fan, he would like to play spoiler to that. You know, we don't expect Phil throughout the entirety of his career to do a lot of losing. He would like that trend to continue in his first appearance, as you mentioned, in a crab boil. But certainly he makes every match that he's involved in better, more fun to watch, so I expect the same here, even in this rivalry we love between the brothers.
All right, farewell tour for Phil Dalhouser in this, his final professional season. 8 weeks of play in the AVP League before we head off to the championships in Chicago. As you look at the AVP Cup standings, LA with an exceptional open with a brand new squad.
Brand new squad. I mean, serving was the name of the game. Hagen Smith in particular on fire down in San Diego a week ago. New York looking to match. Hopefully they're going to have to make up some ground as their ladies just lost, but Palm Beach kind of the only team thus far with 2 weeks in action, so trying to find their footing and establish dominance in this league.
Yeah, coming off the Passion victory of 15-6, 15-13 on the women's side. Congratulations to Brandy Wilkerson and Melissa Humana-Paredes. You look at Phil Dalhouser on the right-hand side.
I was like, I don't know if you can trust me with that.
Greatest volleyball player in the history of beach volleyball. And on the other side, Taylor Sander, Taylor Crab, one born of the beach, the other an indoor star for a very long time, including an Olympic career.
Yeah, absolutely. An Olympic medalist, as a matter of fact. Was playing some indoor again in the off-season over in Indonesia. But he is a phenom on the beach as well. We saw them kind of dominate the regular season last year, make their way into the championships, where San Diego ended up taking the title. But there's a look at their team stats.
Yeah, lost to San Diego in the semis and then lost to Miami for third last year. These guys were kind of class of the class at 6-2. And those 5 titles together in 20 AVP heritage events. Of course, a good legacy. And two of the most entertaining guys you're going to see on the sand, too. Expect some creative offense out of these men.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to be short on highlight reel moments in this match between That man on the right of your screen there, Taylor Sander, I mean, he's kind of like the Dominique Wilkins of beach volleyball. He's a human highlight reel, Kev.
Two-time indoor Olympian, that bronze, as Rich mentioned, in Rio in 2016, Rookie of the Year out on the beach in 2022, both 33 years old.
It's Taylor Sander.
Taylor Sander playing at BYU. At the same time, his partner now, Taylor Crabb, was starring out of Honolulu, Hawaii, over at Long Beach State.
Yeah, both named Taylor, back-to-back players of the year in college. I mean, they have just been good friends for a long time, and a lot of synchronicity in their careers. Finally found their way back together out here on the sand.
And they're going to face off with the other Crabb brother. And used to be the other Crabb brother, but for Manhattan Beach titles, are you the Crabb brother at that point?
Yeah, I mean, he's the older brother. His younger brother had the more illustrious indoor career, but Trevor certainly got a case for beach supremacy at this point in the family.
Yeah, Trevor Crabb, Long Beach State, 09 to 13, AVP Rookie of the Year back in 2014. He has really accelerated his game, now 35 years old and four-time champion. Speaking of championships, his partner, Phil Dalhouser, 63 AVP Heritage titles with fewer opportunities than some of the greats in the game. 11-time best blocker honors, now 45 years old, still 6'9", and still dominant. As we look at the brothers' rivalry, they have faced off a number of times, and at one point, they were partners.
Indeed, yeah. I think, you know, when you lead the head-to-head 17-13, you do get bragging rights as the Crabb.
All right, so the advantage gone to Trevor for the moment.
Taylor, Trevor, and Phil.
And we'll see who takes advantage early. Right-hand side, the colors of the New York Nitro. Back to serve. They're going to do some split blocking this year, are the Taylors. That's new. Taylor Sander with the serve, Crabb up at the net. Brother v. brother, and that is over the top of the 6-foot maybe Taylor Crabb.
Yeah, I mean, he's diminutive in stature, but he's a very good blocker. Don't get it twisted. He reads the game really well, puts his hands in some good spots, but brother Trevor knows his game and just easily went over the top, like you said, Kevin.
Trevor to his brother, and there's that creative offense, a little slide action, right side slide past Phil Dalhouser with that heavily taped left ankle.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. He's moving a little bit gingerly, and if Taylor can zip around like that, it's going to be tough for Phil to chase him all night.
Yeah, he will zip around, and maybe he'll buzz around, known as the Bug, his nickname from childhood. Part of that great generation of players out of Hawaii who've affected not only volleyball in America, but volleyball worldwide. Nice run down there by Crabb. He'll go right back to Trevor. Taylor fakes, and his partner delivers a block. Big move from Taylor Sander. More on the brothers. Cameron Irwin.
Yeah, Kevin and Rich, it was fun. I got a chance to catch up with both of the brothers and ask, what's the best way to get under your brother's skin? And Taylor's answer was superb. He said, well, when Trevor starts talking at him, he simply does not respond. I said, is that challenging? He said, no, it's more fun than anything. And I love that he hates it. On the other side for Trevor, he said the best way to get under Taylor's skin is to get a ball to the sand without Taylor getting a touch on it. So watch for those two things as this matchup continues, guys.
I'm not sure that touch qualifies. Do you have to touch it before it touches the sand, or is it okay to kind of simultaneous contact, Rich?
Yeah, I think Trevor, with his point to the sand, indicated that there was no touch on that ball. Yeah, the ignorance game, always fun when somebody's chirping at you.
Yeah, Taylor will do that with everybody, right? He won't give you much back. Backslide this time a little bit further inside, and it's a shot instead of a swing. Same result, a point for the Nitro.
Yeah, I really like that play for a lot of reasons. We talked about Phil's ankle maybe being a little less than 100%, but also it just forces the defense into an uncomfortable position. Trevor has to kind of give away his position early, and with the vision of Taylor Crabb, he can kind of pick his spots.
Sander will rip it, and that one is just a little long. Taylor Sanders saying, we know that serving, aggressive serving pays dividends, so I'm going to remain aggressive from the line. He said, but sometimes he is out of balance in terms of errors.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a threshold, but if you are the New York Nitro, you want him going after that serve.
Jump set. Success. Duck back over. Is it in? Just out.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because John King's going to drop off the top step, it looked like.
I don't know if there's much of a ball mark left to check out as a diving Taylor came in on top of the ball.
Yeah.
You jump back up there now? We got to take the steps.
Pushing not only the line, but also a bunch of sand.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I thought real time that looked like it caught some line. The line judge from the far end had it out. Let's see if we get a look.
Oh, great look from the overhead cam. That's just the outside of the line.
Yeah, down official having that one in.
So 4-3, bad pass, too tight, covered. Taylor, he'll unload on it. Phil cannot handle it. That's the thing about Taylor. He is slight of frame, not low on power.
Not low on power at all. His shoulder mobility is tremendous, and that speed right there to get underneath that. And look at him load that arm quickly and come up with that power you referenced.
Rich Lamborn, longtime coach of the Jake Gibb, Taylor Crabb partnership, which would go to the Tokyo Olympic Games back in 21. Oh, beautiful back set. The crowd loves it, and Phil goes OT, old school Phil things.
That little extra flair on that, too. Had to kind of put a little oomph on that to get it all the way back to Big Phil. Great set by Trevor.
7 times the best setter because no one ever served Phil. This is the rare opportunity when Phil gets a serve. And to wit of that, Phil 17 attempts in week 1 to Trevor's 38. Push set, this time staying on the left. His brother right there. And he'll heat it up down the middle. Dig, transition, kill, 6-4, Palm Beach.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that set wasn't quite where T-Crabs wanted it. I think he's got to stay aggressive, though. Trevor just has that good read on his younger brother, just knowing each other for so long.
Yeah, Trevor's got a pretty good feel for the ball defensively. 4-1 run for Palm Beach. Keeps Phil at the line. Little jump float. Out.
And it's just out of bounds. 5-6.
Trevor Crabb, 6'4". Originally played basketball. Went off to play basketball his first year of college before returning to the hardwood of volleyball.
Yeah, he's all of 6'4".
Yeah, that might be an underestimation for him. Players often overestimating their height. Might be under. There, taking a little off is Taylor Sander and generating an ace.
Yeah, showing that location can trump pace oftentimes from the service line. Just perfectly executed middle.
That 74 is wrong. Similar serve, completely opposite result. A little hot pocket to go with it. 7-6. Hot pocket is when you hit the ball into the sand, it catches a good spot, goes straight up.
I thought you were just a big Jim Gaffigan fan.
I'm not afraid of some pepperoni and cheese and a tasty pastry. I'll tell you that. Taylor, cut shot, picked up again. His brother with more defense. No offense this time, not yet. Nobody up. Taylor's turn, push, and drop down. Oh, that's like a Nick Lucena move right there.
Yeah, excellent stuff. But again, you see when Taylor goes to the shots, Trevor just seems to have a great read on him almost all the time. The Nitro doing a nice job defensively to generate a couple more scoring opportunities. Taylor ultimately paying it off with that little baby line.
Nick Lucena, longtime partner of Phil Dowhauser in 2 different stretches. Childhood friends who made it to the AVP. Trevor pushed to the net by his partner Phil. And blocked. Phil go all the way to the back corner. Sander, he told me he wasn't a very good blocker. Turns out he led in blocks last year. I mean, how do those two things even match up, Taylor?
Well, it's interesting because he kind of went with the swing blocking, more of an indoor style of blocking last year. Had some success with it, as you mentioned. So we see our indoor Olympians, or excuse me, our Olympians overall.
Yeah, a couple of indoor Olympians on the bottom there. As you look at Phil Dowhauser, Taylor Sander, Cam Schulk, now a rookie in the league, Andy Finish, and Chase Buttinger, Miles Evans. Miles Partain, those partnerships, Olympic partnerships, performing here in 2025 in the AVP League. And they were here last year as well, those two same pairs. Met in the finals. Defending champs this year, Buttinger and Evans.
I feel like I got robbed on that graphic. I've been to 2 as well, Kev, and I came home with some hardware.
I think you have a gold medal, as I recall. Rich Lamborn, it's attached to your intro. Gold medalist Rich Lamborn, Kevin Barnett, and Cameron Irwin here, bringing you the action from Wayfair Arena. And chopping over the top, there's the touch of Taylor Sander. See how long it takes him to dial that in after an indoor stint in Indonesia.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking pretty smooth. We've already seen the good serving from him. That touch really complements the power he has offensively very nicely.
Hitting 600, now unloading down the middle. That a bigger serve, 64 miles an hour. He powers that one through. That was the right reading, 64 on that crack.
Yeah, that was another excellent placement on that serve, good power in combination. And then this isn't something you often see anymore. People are kind of redirecting those a lot of times, but teeing off was Sander.
6-2 run has the Nitro 5 away from first set win. Pass tight to the net. Phil will knuckle that one down to the silica.
Yeah, it's interesting because he's not a big option guy. As devastating as he could potentially be at that skill, not something he forces a lot, you know, choosing to break out the pretty paws and set his partners.
Phil said for a long time he struggled with the amount of time away from his family. Wife Jen and the kids that volleyball required. And that ball is cracked off the knuckle up set for Crab and Sander. Phil said that he resented the game a bit for a while, and then eventually he figured out that volleyball is kind of the reason he was here.
Right.
And a way to put food on the table and change his relationship with the game and everything required to play the game at that level.
Phil, the tortured genius through parts of his career.
Nice touch by Taylor Crab, but it's not enough. Out of play, 10-11.
Yeah, it is tough, the travel and the various conditions and so forth, and the time away from your family that you have to deal with to be successful in the sport. But it does pay some pretty good dividends as well.
It has provided Phil a lot of opportunities. That ball is into the net. He's now running to Phil Dalhouser Beach Academy, running a lot of kids through the Orlando area and teaching the game that he loves and that he is representing as the best beach volleyball player of all time.
And that's a phenomenal facility that he's got as well there in the Orlando area.
Yeah, it's expanding. He was trying to do kind of a community-based thing where kids could come and train and learn the game and be a part of it, but everybody's clamoring for participation in the national tournaments, in the structure of juniors, and so he's moving more towards that with increased courts and support. Moving towards the end of this first set, Nitro and Passion. Crab v. Crab. Dig there from Trevor. Taylor, will he go on 2? No, jump set, tight into the middle. Oh, he read that, didn't he? Trevor puts it away. He gives a little to the other side.
That might be the hardest ball we've ever seen Trevor Crab hit. Little oomph on that one. And again, just being a little too cute. Sometimes that can be an Achilles heel for the Taylors. I like you got the little bit of deception you were looking for in that step-in 2 ball for Taylor Sander, but he needs to tee off on that.
12 all. Critical side out for New York. Left side. Nobody up. There you go.
Yeah, Phil choosing to drop into the cut shot that time. Not a terrible read, because that is a shot that T. Crabs will go to from time to time.
Nitro +1.
It's always that cat and mouse game between blocker and attacker. Fun to watch.
Taylor goes jumper. If he does that a lot, that would be new. Dug the first one. Phil will attack the second. Straight down.
We're talking about his ankle possibly being hobbled a little bit. Nobody creates those angles like Phil Dalhouser.
This is why no one gives Phil opportunities to hit.
And that is a great look at a perfect set and just elevation detonation, Kevin.
Nitro so far perfect, no hitting errors. Will Phil get one here? That ball's tight. And just like that, an error.
Yeah, I wonder if that's an I know that you know that I know kind of a situation, because Taylor's talked about knowing that Phil likes a little bit of spread with his hands at the net. I think trying to attack that area and just barely missing contact.
Missed contact with the block. Missed inbounds, 14-13. Palm Beach, set point. Phil, serve and block. And he gets it. First block of the set. We'll finish at 15-13, a 5-1 run. Palm Beach up 1-0. A little conversation about maybe a touch, maybe not. Passion looking good just south of their home, making Wayfair Arena their vacation spot. 15-13, 1-0 Palm Beach.
Yeah, we got to be playing all along. Yeah, we do. All right.
How about a little magic? How about a little magic, huh?
Back inside Wayfair Arena, some fans of Palm Beach enjoying the action here. Match number 2 between the Palm Beach Passion and the New York Nitro. Up 1-0, Phil Dahlhauser and Trevor Crabb. And Phil Dahlhauser, one of the all-time greats worldwide in this game of volleyball. 103 career wins, 4-time Olympian, a gold medal in 2008 alongside Todd Rogers. Those AVP heritage titles. Look at that. 38% of the time he's even in, he's winning.
That's amazing, and likely something we will never see again. Yeah, almost an 80% match win rate, also astounding. Just, in my opinion, the greatest to ever play the sport, Phil Dahlhauser.
Yeah, I said he knew when he and Nick beat Karchin Lambo, Daxon Stein, Blanton Nygaard in one event. He felt he was on to something finally, because he was kind of grinding it out in North Carolina at a beach house for a while and up and down the East Coast, and felt like for a long time he represented the East Coast in that East Coast West Coast beef that was in the sport of volleyball as well as rap.
Yeah, fortunately a little less violent on the sands.
Fortunately indeed. Although we did see some violent attacks in that first set. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympic gold medalist Rich Lamborn, Cameron Irwin down on the sand. We saw some good attacks and some fabulous numbers. 438 for Dahlhauser and Crabb in that first set offensively. Dahlhauser 3 for 3. Don't serve Phil. Phil getting a hold of that first one here in the second set, and a shot right into the mid-body delivered by Taylor, or Trevor to Taylor.
Yeah, just kind of changed directions off the top of the tape against the retreating Taylor Crabb. You know, I think back in that first set, Kev, late when they had the opportunity, the Nitro, with that transition ball to score a point, and Sander just kind of gave that knuckle that Trevor was all over. That's the chance to open it up too, and instead it turns into that 5-1 closing run for the Passion.
Yeah, I'll look at the stats in that first set, which ended 15-13 between the brothers. A lot of pickups from Trevor there, and that was kind of the hole in event number 1 in Palm Beach. Phil was 1.25 blocks per set. This will get served here and put another ball away. He's 4 for 4. But it was Trevor who wasn't digging a ton of balls, and he wasn't hitting a high percentage. He was only hitting 237.
Yeah, interesting. They don't have necessarily the opportunity to train as frequently together, living on different coasts. So maybe a little bit of rust there early on in the partnership for the Passion.
Yeah, but 5 digs and hitting .357 was Trevor in that first set. Fast improvement. You add that to some blocks, and we go to the camera on the sand.
Yeah, guys, you just saw the Phil Dahlhauser block, but I got a chance to catch up with him in between these two sets and asked him specifically about that foot being taped up. He said he's got a little bit of a calf strain, and he's just looking for a little extra support. Now, I also love when I asked about what he liked from set number 1, he said, well, we just stuck with it. And he said that can be absolutely demoralizing for the other team. I said, what are his hopes heading into the second set? He looked at me, smiled, and just said, I hope they suck. Kev, Rich?
Aren't we all just looking for a little extra support?
Phil, one of the great conversations in volleyball, fun guy to spend time with. Riley funny about the game, about life. Never know what topic you might get into with Phil. That ball hit right on the line by his partner Trevor. We picked him up. He was going to walk to the Palm Beach event. It wasn't that far from the hotel. I said, Phil, you want to ride? Sure. Pick up Phil. 30 seconds later, we're talking about, you know, humans aren't really meant to wear shoes. Okay, let's get into it.
Well, that's apropos of this line of work. What a swing there, T. Krabs.
Is there a little extra on that one as the offense has yet to get going for the Nitro in any smooth way?
Well, one of the things I love about the game of Taylor Crabb is that the bigger the block, the more he's going to challenge it. Right? Phil's gotten him a couple times already in this match, but that does not deter him whatsoever. He kind of comes with a little bit extra.
A little too much extra on that one for Sander, and he's long again down the middle. Strategy appears to be serve the middle between the two men on the other side. If you weren't with us earlier, Passion 15-6, 15-13 on the women's side. Humana Paredes and Wilkerson defeating Quiggle and Rice, the league rookies this year. As we get the league veteran matchup here. Roll shot with one way, shoot the other.
Yeah, it's a really, really good shot. I like that from Taylor, though, that he sets that up with a lot of heavy swings in the beginning, right? If he comes out a little soft and it's all shots, I think that's when Trevor starts to get a real good beat on him.
Hero cracking from the line, hit Phil. That ball's tight, not a great set, but it doesn't matter.
Again, it's no surprise that Phil doesn't typically see a lot of serves. That's, what, 5 for 5 or 6 for 6 now for the big fella?
Yeah, stats updating, 5 for 5. I think that's one shy, the total. Rich, I'll go with yours rather than the official score right now. Oh! Did you want some heat?
Yeah, that added the little nitro that their name would suggest. Taylor Sander also not afraid of any block that happens to be in front of him.
Now he's got a Nas bottle on that. Couple of swings from the Nitro side. Back to the service line once again. Everybody's taking swings.
Yeah, that's a really, really good pass to start that play off from Trevor Crabb. Good serve from Sander, controlled well, and Phil, we know about his setting prowess.
7-time best setter, Phil Dahlhauser. Passion only leading by 2 here, but they have scored double the number of points for the Nitro since it was 12-10. Nitro lead late in that first.
Yeah, that's a crafty little shot we saw there from T. Crabb. That little cuff leaves the arm low and just kind of goes across his body at the last minute.
Saw that hitting percentage go by 429, not bad, but you can't give up 600. And have it go even higher as Phil remains perfect.
Yeah, I like how the Nitro are trying to mix up their serving. I like Taylor Crabb going after his jump serve from the end line. I think he's got impeccable control from back there and can cause some problems. But I think you have to find that open space around Trevor Crabb a little bit more and less so around Phil Dahlhauser.
scoop from the left-hand side. Crab into Dahlhauser. That is yet another block, the third for Phil Dahlhauser.
Another block for Phil Dahlhauser. It is 9-6.
Passion 9-6. Phil saying that calf is a little tender. It is not looking like it in the stats. 6 for 6, 3 blocks. And he's going to get a couple weeks rest.
Sometimes it kind of helps you hyper-focus a little bit.
Phil, quick move through that side. Again, the diversity of offense shown by the Nitro. Palm Beach just seems steady. They seem unruffled here.
Yeah, like we heard Cameron report to us, right? That was the conversation with the Passion in between sets, as we just stuck to it. And they certainly seem to be the more consistent of the two teams thus far.
Trevor gives the option. Phil takes it. He's batting 1,000 so far in this match. 10-7 his team up.
Yeah, that's an excellent choice as well, especially the rhythm he's in after seeing uncharacteristically a few serves.
Phil, a bit of a pioneer for the big guys that have joined the game. One of the first really impactful 6'9" guys out there. As he again puts pressure on the other side with the serve, that will go over and be put away. Passion on the streak.
I mean, that's a great pickup from Trevor Crabb, and obviously a wonderful put away as well. But if we see the free ball that Taylor Crabb gave them, that was crafty. We're just seeing the very tail end of it. But the Nitro were scrambling the whole way, and Taylor Crabb still had the wherewithal to give it the little side scooping short.
Timeout called by the New York Nitro off another 4-1 run for Trevor Crabb and Phil Dahlhauser.
That looks so fun. Oh, damn. Rip it. Oh, no.
Yes. Now, look, I know it wasn't working before. And
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're kind of
all
breaking.
those pictures are the same blurry picture.
Let him do his thing there.
The team aspect of this pretty unique.
I do need to go meet that dog. We also want to see selfies, and I promise that QR
I feel like one play or a lay down and he'll get him. Right. And if he beats you with the hit, he beats you with the hit. And it's not an ego thing. He's going to get some of those hits. You know what I mean? You're going to try to just kind of patient and then.
That's good blurry picture.
But it's that little extra hold.
Yeah.
Hey, it's fun.
Never having fun.
Seems like it. Looks like it. Oh God, I'm getting my cardio in.
Yeah, there it is.
A lot of relaxed chatter on that side. For the New York Nitro, what do you think the keys are to coming back here? They trail by 4. The move has to be made now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter of staying aggressive. They're going to have to push it a little bit from the end line. I think they've got to keep the ball more on Trevor and in such a way that he can't pass the ball up there for Phil to go on too. But priority number 1, of course, finding a side out here.
Against the jump float of Phil, who will go deep and long. There you go, timeout. Effective. Big moment here. Taylor Crabb back to serve. Honolulu, Hawaii. Native 14 titles in AVP Heritage play, and that wall will be long. 5 of those titles alongside Taylor Sander. And the other victories coming alongside Jake Gibb.
I like what he was trying to do with the serve there, just barely missing long.
Late move, fast, and a shot is good.
9-12, the Nitro need a run.
Especially if that set's in good position like it was there. I really like that play from the Nitro. Phil just becomes much less of a factor to deal with when he's kind of chasing you out to the pin a little bit.
You wanted him to serve Trevor. They did. And he sides out. Locates it and leaves a little gooseneck up there for you to look at. 13-9.
And the shared expression from the Nitro after that ball went down indicates maybe there was a little bit of a miscommunication. Both kind of looking at each other like they were surprised that there was that much wide open court for Trevor to hit.
Phil very close to that line. Little fake inside, back outside, did not fool Trevor. And he puts it to the corner for the winner. A dominant performance by the women of Palm Beach, and now by the men. They have arrived at a match ball.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Trevor does so well against his brother in particular, is just stay patient defensively. A luxury that gets even more emphasized when you got Big Phil in front of you to play behind.
5-1 run for the match. On two, got it. Split block being deployed by Palm Beach there. They'll look at a second opportunity to close it.
The luxury you have when
Nitro trying to hang on. Trevor, a little push down. A unique arm swing finished it 15-10.
Yeah, I like that. A little bit of a quicker tempo set to Trevor. We know he has seemingly an infinite number of ways he can chop you up on the line, and shows us one of the variety there.
Yeah, we saw some unusual stuff, a little swinging from Trevor Crabb in that one. He's more known for that shot, as the New York Nitro opened tonight at 0-2. Pretty dominant performance from both sides. The men and women in pink.
Yeah, absolutely. The Palm Beach Passion were on their game, ladies and men.
Cameron Irwin with our winners.
All right, well, I got one of the winners at least to start, Trevor Crabb, and now Phil Dahlhauser joining me. Trevor, it seemed like you had more pop on some of those attacks than you traditionally do. You know, you're kind of that 70% guy. Was this a full 100% in this one?
Are you saying he doesn't hit very hard?
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, he says it.
Yeah.
If I say it, I say it all the time.
What you do?
Yeah, against the little bro, it's always extra 15, 20%. So close to 100 right there.
And then, Phil, I learned that one of your roommates, one of your buddies, Matt, is actually the coach for you guys, at least in this event alone. He said that you guys used to play back behind Adam Roberts' house. Oh, what does it mean to have one of your dear friends in the box with you?
Oh, man, Matt's really has a great energy. And I just want to say, me and Matt never lost to Adam and Nick in 2-on-2 beach volleyball. I hope they hear that.
I love it. I'm sure Nick Lucena is tuning in somewhere for sure. You get the best of your brother. How long will these bragging rights last?
Well, for a while, until at least Manhattan, where we can potentially match up against each other. So I got a couple months to rub it in.
And then, Phil, this is a team that's newly formed and coming together. What would be your review since week 1 now to week 3 with just one more match under your belt?
This is probably our smoothest match. I mean, I think they scored 2 real ones on us, maybe. And when you're sighting out a clip like that, it's tough to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome. Well, congratulations to the Palm Beach Passion. They're picking up 2 wins, both on the men's and women's side. Guys?
Dominant indeed. The Palm Beach Passion 2-0 on the night. Phil Dahlhauser and Trevor Crabb 15-13, 15-10. As a team, they hit 667. Phil, a perfect 7 of 7. They target the brother, Taylor Crabb, on the other side. 23 attempts. Hit a pretty decent amount, well over 300, but it wasn't enough against a very efficient team from Palm Beach. 2 matches done, 2 to go. We'll see on CBS Sports Network shortly for the Blaze versus the Mayhem.